Good evening. Welcome to ThaiPBS Eng.News Service. I am Supachong Klinswan. Suratthani governor has denied reports that Samui and Phangan Islands have been declared disaster zones after a rupture in the submarine electricity cable linking them to the mainland has left the two islands without power for a third day. Some foreign tourists cut short their holidays and left Got Samui and Got Phangan because of the blackouts caused by Tuesday's electrical short circuits in the main undersea cable supplying power to the islands. However, as the tourists departed, some said they were not leaving for good and that they will be back to the islands after the problem is solved. Chatpong Chatputi, Suratthani governor, says the Provincial Electricity Authority or PEA, every agency involved and the private sector have been called in to help repair the submarine cable as fast as possible. The Electricity Authority says they will try to have it repaired by tonight. Meanwhile, the governor insisted he will not declare the islands disaster zones. The Federation of Thai Industry in Suratthani province said a backup power system is needed and that this problem has affected tourist confidence. The Department of Special Investigation, the police and the prosecutors have announced the decision to charge former Prime Minister Apisit Wechachjiwa and former Deputy PM Suthep Thuksuban with murder over the death of a taxi driver who was shot by soldiers during the 2010 Red Shirt rallies. The man will be charged with premeditated murder under Section 288 of Thailand's Criminal Code. Thadit Prengdit, chief of the Department of Special Investigation, said they based their decision to file charges on further witness testimony, as well as a court ruling that the taxi driver was shot and killed by soldiers during the country's worst political violence in decades. The chief of the Department of Special Investigation will summon both Apisit and Suthep by letter to hear the charges and to be questioned next Wednesday. Meanwhile, Apisit, who oversaw the crackdown, has insisted the protest leaders should accept responsibility and said his government had to take tough actions. The Hungarian national arrested for allegedly killing his business partner has reportedly confessed to being the killer. An unsettled debt is believed to have been the cause of the dispute. Moshe David, a Hungarian national suspected of murdering Peter Wright, has been arrested at a department store in Bangkok. The police are now searching for Kawal Rajos George, who is thought to have been an accomplice in the murder of Peter Wright, an Hungarian businessman. According to the investigation team, Moshe David said he was angry with his business partner Peter Wright as he cheated on his property deals to the tune of millions of baht. He asked his Hungarian friend, Kuala Lajos George, to accompany him to ask Peter Wright to negotiate a way out of the conflict. But no agreement could be reached. An argument ensued, and Moshe David and his friend beat his business partner to death before putting his body into a bag and hiding it in a rubber plantation. The police are now looking for another suspect in the case who is thought to still be hiding somewhere in Thailand. A dramatic car chase and shooting shook Bangkok's Chinatown today as police decided to shoot out the tires of a car which was attempting to escape apprehension. The driver of this pickup truck rammed into and injured a police officer who was on his motorbike as the man was fleeing arrest. Police asked him to stop because this pickup truck did not have a license plate. Escaping through Yawara traffic, the pickup truck hit at least 3 other cars before police decided to shoot out the tires. The pickup then rammed into a fruit vendor's cart and another car. The driver, later identified as 36-year-old Krieng Krai Chao Mueang Khong from Ubon Ratchathani province, was arrested for refusal to stop, evading arrest, and possession of 2 grams of crystal methamphetamines. Further investigation is underway. And moving to the Deep South, in addition to the 200 schools in the southern province of Narathiwat already being closed down, now more than 100 more schools are threatening to close their doors if the government cannot ensure their safety. The slaying of a teacher in Narathiwat on Monday and a drive-by shooting on Tuesday led to the directors of some 200 schools deciding to shut down classes for the entire week as they fear for their staff's safety. Another 100 will be closed tomorrow. The school's closure remains indefinite. General Paradon Patanathaput, Secretary General of the National Security Council, says that armed forces in the Deep South have now reorganized their strategy towards ensuring teacher safety, which will now place more emphasis on communication between teachers and soldiers. The school closure trend may spread to other Deep South provinces as well. Transparency International has revealed that Thailand's corruption index ranking fell to 88 out of 176 countries surveyed. Despite falling by 8 places since last year, the government claims that Thailand's corruption is actually reducing. 37 out of 100 is Thailand's score on the International Corruption Index, with a 0 score indicating high levels of corruption and 100 low levels. 2/3 of the 176 countries ranked in the 2012 index score below 50, meaning they are considered significantly corrupt. However, Nirat Thamrong Bunsongpaisan, minister to the PM's office, says last year Thailand scored 3.4 out of 10, so getting 37 out of 100 in the new measuring system is considered an improvement, adding that Thailand is assessed using 8 criteria, while some other developing countries are measured with only 4. The minister stated that the government has a clear policy towards eradicating corruption at all levels. And at number 1 of the Transparency International's index are New Zealand, Denmark, and Finland, while the most corrupt countries are Afghanistan, North Korea, and Somalia. The highest climber in Asia goes to Singapore, which is the world's number 5 least corrupt country. Meanwhile, the National Counter-Corruption Commission says the government should be more open to independent agencies like the NCCC to investigate and press charges against corrupt agencies and individuals. As it stands today, the NCCC must launch an official full-scale investigation and cannot just report government agencies which the NCCC are thinking that they breach corruption laws. The Kasikorn Research Center has reported that Thailand has been losing foreign direct investment, or FDI, to her ASEAN peers over the past 5 years. Our Dr. Rungtip Chonapalai spoke with Stanley Kung, Vice Chairman of the Joint Foreign Chambers of Commerce in Thailand, or JFCCT, who pointed out that Thailand ranks among the top 3 ASEAN countries when it comes to attracting foreign investors.
Anything else that Thailand should maybe try to reach or to achieve towards the AEC in 2015?
Yeah, okay. 2015 AEC will become, that's for sure. So I think our countries will still be working hard on the manpower. Right? I believe that the force to push up all the economic will be the contribution of the manpower from different level. So I think that we have to work it out, a lot of education thing, and a lot of explanation to the market. The government do a lot of explanation to the market to make sure that people understand what the benefit of the AEC and what should we do, and then we can get the most advantage and benefit from the AEC.
Right, but then what should Thailand do to get the most advantage then?
I think based on the infrastructure for foreign investment to come, for the infrastructure, for the banking system, everything Thailand will be ahead of that. But the only thing that we have difficulty will be the manpower. But I do see that a lot of people, after they graduate, they don't get a job there. Right? Or I don't know what's the reason. Either they don't like to work, or
it's not marketable what they study.
Yeah, they can't match on it.
Right.
So probably the job matching should be starting in the school, right? Because on the enterprise they don't have the duty to do all this job training too. So I think how to match it up, we have to the school itself or education program itself with all the enterprise should be go more close hand together. So when the student graduate, they were getting their job right away, so they don't have to lose their job. I see a lot of people, they don't know what to do, so they keep on studying it.
Right.
Yeah.
And for Thailand, you think among other countries in ASEAN, what the position are we for investors?
I think Thailand, out of the Asian countries, that we are in one of the top 3. Yeah.
So the top 1, 2, 3, what are they?
I think for the foreign investor right now, they are looking at Indonesia because it's a lot of population there, so you don't have much problem with the manpower. But of course, the infrastructure they still cannot compare to Thailand. But I think they can. But the manpower is whatever their most advantage there. Another place will be like Myanmar. They are still very, very young and very clean there, but they do have a lot of the risk management you have to think about it.
Right.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
the third?
Yeah, sure. Thailand is I think all of the Asian countries, as myself traveling in the Asian country, I think the best place to live in will be in Thailand.
Typhoon Bopha battered beach resorts and dive spots on Palawan Island on Wednesday, leaving people stranded at the popular tourist destination of the Philippines. More than 1,200 coastal residents were moved to safer ground before Bopha made landfall in Palawan. Here's more from Hugh Adams.
Local media reported that 2 small fishing boats sank, and in separate incidents 2 fishermen and a boatman went missing. Hardest hit was the southern island of Mindanao, where Bopha made landfall on Tuesday. It triggered landslides and floods along the coast and in farming and mining towns inland. Dozens of soldiers and rescue workers pulled out bodies from the mud-drenched debris. The strongest typhoon to hit the Philippines this year killed at least 332 people in the southern Philippines. Another 379 are still missing, according to the latest tally by the disaster agency. Search and rescue teams were struggling to reach devastated towns as felled trees and posts blocked roads and winds cut off power and communication lines. More than 179,000 people have fled their homes and are staying inside evacuation centres, some of which had been damaged by fierce winds. Officials are appealing for food, water and clothing. Those who didn't make it to official shelters slept by the roadside. The death toll could rise further, with local government officials reporting higher numbers of missing and dead. About 20 typhoons hit the Philippines every year, often causing death and destruction. Almost exactly a year ago, Typhoon Washi killed 1,500 people in Mindanao. Typhoon Bopha, with central winds of 115 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 145 kilometers per hour, was moving west-northwest of the central Philippines and is expected to be over the South China Sea tomorrow. Hugh Adams, Thai PBS.
Thank you, Hugh. At 66 years on the throne, His Majesty the King of Thailand is the world's longest reigning monarch. All of his hard work and devotion are now to be told through the documentary My King by National Geographic. Here's more information from Kun Udomlak Unhalekachit.
He has shown his genius and interest in irrigation since he was just 3 years old, when he and his late elder brother dug a small pond to hold water and plant the trees around it.
คงเป็นนักคิดนักพัฒนานักคิดด้วยว่าจะทำยังไงเนาะที่จะเปลี่ยนไอ้ดินเหล่านี้ในถิ่นทุรกันดารเนี่ยให้มันมาปลูกพืชปลูกผักได้ให้มันชุ่มชื้นได้แล้วผมก็คิดได้จริง
He is a thinker, a genius. His royal projects, gambling, Glandin, and so on, are all creative and really help Thai farmers. This is mainly because he was brought up surrounded by care and support.
National Geographic's production team has spent over 2 years researching and filming the documentary about the king's versatility in many different fields, such as literature, music, sports, arts, and religion. The documentary doesn't only tell of his versatility, but also his way of thinking and ability to solve problems the audience can adapt to use in their own lives.
ถ้าได้ดูแล้วเนี่ยได้วิชาชีวิตทั้ง9ด้านอันเกิดมาจากพระอัจฉริยภาพของพระองค์นั้นทุกๆคนก็จะมีความรู้สึกว่าสามารถนำไปประยุกต์
When the audience watches the documentary, they will appreciate His Majesty's devotion and hard work. Also, if they can understand and adapt the things they watch to their lives, it means we succeeded.
จักรพงศ์สุทธิสถาพร One of the My King production team said that the team will have succeeded if the audience understands the story and are able to relate it to their lives. Throughout his 66 years run, His Majesty the King has instigated more than 3,000 royal projects to relieve Thai people's problems, a story which will be told through the documentary My King in both Thai and English versions. Udomlak Unhalekachit, Thai PBS.
Thank you, Kuru Domlak, and that's all the time we have for Thai PBS English News Service for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow night. I'm Subhajan Klinsawan. สวัสดีครับ